Your uncle slept with your mother. His goal was to get his hands on your family's massive fortune. By the time you discovered everything, your family was already in financial crisis. With no other choice, you took your sick mother and moved into the slums. Looking at the leaking shack, you thought about ending your life, but your cowardice wouldn't let you do it. One day, you saw your cousin on the street, who had just returned from overseas. Thinking about how her father had tricked you into bankruptcy, you started to harbor dark intentions. You lured your cousin to a hotel and slept with her. Before long, you got bored of her. After dumping her, you took the money you scammed and started investing it. You work hard on your budget, invest every month, and stay patient. Your money should already be working for you. That sounds responsible, it sounds mature. But this is exactly why so many disciplined people quietly burn out. You know the scene. Payday hits. You transfer money into your investment account. You skip things you want. You tell yourself you're building wealth. Then at night, you open the app, stare at the balance, and barely see any change, just a tiny green number. That's the trap. Not because compound interest is fake, but because most people understand compounding in an incomplete way. You're taught to expect steady progress. Put money in, watch it grow, stay motivated. But early investing doesn't reward your effort with emotional feedback. If you invest $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. It sounds good, responsible, and mature. But if you've only invested $10,000, a 7% annual return is about $700. That is not life-changing at all. Now look at the same math from the other side. When you invest $100,000, 7% is about $7,000 a year. Suddenly, market growth exceeds your contributions. Same habits, same person, same monthly deposits. So the truth isn't to stay patient and trust the process. That is way too vague. The harsher and more useful truth is this. For a long time, your effort is real, but the feedback is weak. You are not actually failing. If you've ever felt ashamed because investing seemed pointless, that is actually a really good sign. That feeling doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you believed in the wrong timeline. Once you understand this, you stop treating slow beginnings as failure. You see them for what they really are. The quiet phase before money starts pushing back. Most people never calculate this, so they stay frustrated for years. The rule of 72 is simple. Divide 72 by your return rate, and you get the approximate time it takes to double your money. At 7%, that's about 10 years. Now think about what that means in real life. If you invest $10,000 and it doubles to $20,000, that is progress on paper, but emotionally you barely feel it. It doesn't change how you feel at the grocery store. It doesn't remove rent anxiety. It doesn't make your account look powerful. In the early stage, the math is working, but your brain refuses to give credit. Small balances are growing, just not in visually dramatic ways, so people assume the strategy is wrong. They start chasing hotter stocks, smarter industries, magical shortcuts to make the curve rise faster. But the real problem usually isn't the return rate, it's that your balance hasn't crossed the line, where growth actually beats your contributions. Because the moment investment growth exceeds your monthly deposits, everything changes. Before that, every gain feels like you dragged it forward yourself. After that, the account starts showing signs of life. That is the real psychological tipping point. Let's make it concrete right now. If you invest $500 per month, that is $6,000 per year. Assuming a 7% return, your crossover point is simple. Annual contribution divided by 0.07. That is about $86,000. If you invest $9,000 per year, divided by 0.07, the crossover point is about $129,000. This isn't a motivational slogan, it's a threshold. A real balance where annual growth starts matching your deposits, or exceeding what you put in from your paycheck. When you see it this way, everything stops being vague. Building wealth is too fuzzy to drive behavior. But a sticky note that says $86,000? That is a completely different story. And a $129,000 target? That is also very different. Now every single choice has a clear direction. Every payday, every transfer, every fee, every impulse purchase either shortens or lengthens the distance. No one likes talking about this part, because it exposes the hierarchy behind working hard. Two people can be equally disciplined, equally tired, equally responsible, yet end up playing completely different games. Why is that the case? Because one relies on labor, while the other slowly builds ownership. Labor pays once. Ownership keeps paying after the work stops. That's the dividing line most people feel but cannot explain. When your account growth comes more from the market than your manual contributions, that is the moment. You can see this split in everyday life. One person gets a raise, celebrates over the weekend. Then the money disappears into higher rent, bigger car payments, more takeout, more "I deserve this" spending. Another person gets a raise and never lets it enter their lifestyle. The extra money gets redirected before it becomes a habit. Same income growth, completely different outcomes. That's why the first milestone matters so much. When balances are small, your contributions carry the entire system. The emotional threshold is different for everyone. Some feel it at $100,000, others at $300,000 or even $1 million. It's not because they changed, it's because the baseline changed. Most people don't care about round numbers. They care about the moment investment returns cover a real expense, like a month of groceries or a rent payment. This is where the system quietly separates winners from permanent grinders. If every dollar of income must be spent to maintain life, you're stuck with your body as the engine. If new income becomes assets, tax-advantaged accounts, reinvested dividends, the engine starts moving away from your body. That's the real class divide in personal finance. When someone tells you to work harder but doesn't talk about ownership, they're giving you motivation while hiding the math. The system doesn't reward effort evenly. It rewards assets exponentially. A worker who never misses a day can stay fragile for decades, while a boring automatic investor compounds quietly in the background. It sounds unfair, because it is. But once you see it, shame becomes pointless. And that's also the relief. You don't need 10 clever moves. You just need money to stop flowing into other people's balance sheets and start buying pieces of your own. When returns finally exceed your manual savings, it feels strangely quiet. Pressure changes. The future stops feeling like a wall, and it starts feeling like a slope. The unglamorous solution is this: stop trying to win with smarter guesses. Build a boring system that doesn't rely on emotions. The problem isn't that you don't care enough. It's that every time you need to decide again, old habits vote again. So shrink the task. Payday one transfer. The trap usually isn't dramatic. It looks smart. Chasing trends because movement feels productive. Stacking funds because more buttons feel like more control, even when they hold the same companies underneath. Ignoring 1% fees because they sound small, even though they quietly slow your future every year. Panic selling during downturns because you never defined normal pain in advance, so make the plan embarrassingly simple. Set a contribution goal you can stick to. If it's $6,000 per year, that's fine. Pair it with a realistic return, like 7%. The crossover point is about $86,000. Write the number down, set it as your lock screen. Then automate the habit. Automatic deposits on payday, dollar cost averaging, dividend reinvestment. Choose low-cost index funds that match your risk tolerance. Keep it simple. Absolutely no decoration. If tax-advantaged accounts exist, prioritize them. Increase contributions by 1 or 2% each quarter. Not 10%, keep it sustainable. Many people redesign the system as soon as they get excited. Then they sabotage themselves. Don't do that. Write one sentence for bad days. If the market drops 20%, I keep buying the same amount. That sentence matters, because panic is loud and memory is weak. When your account finally crosses your number, $86,000, or whatever it is, and returns start feeling real. Don't get clever. Celebrate, then change nothing. Keep running the machine. Breakthroughs don't come from secret assets. They come from sticking with simple systems longer. Don't fool yourself. Crossing the number doesn't mean you're rich. It means the machine starts helping you. It's a different promise. Not yachts, not quitting next month, just breathing room. 1 month's market return covers a bill, then another. That's why people become obsessed with their number. For some it's $100,000. Others need $600,000 or $1.6 million. The number isn't what matters, the moment is. You open the app and see your account growing without you. That's the first time compounding feels real. Once you feel it, the goal changes. The only commitment worth making is this. Build the system correctly, and you gain choices. You can reject bad jobs, handle rent increases, deal with medical bills, survive unexpected hits. That's the earliest real form of wealth. A financial buffer, a quiet exit door. Start today, 15 minutes. Open your retirement or brokerage app. Set automatic transfers. Turn on reinvestment. Choose low-cost funds. Then leave it alone. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a system that can survive an imperfect life. This is educational content, not personal financial advice. Markets can go down, so be careful out there. Do your own research or consult a professional. But if you've made it this far, don't close the video and stay stuck in vague intentions. Write your crossover number in the comments and tell me the first automatic investment amount you set today.